Thanks, Chrissy. It's a pleasure to be back here at RIU and looking forward to a good week. So as you noticed, there was an announcement this morning, so please take note as we talk through. Please take note. So yeah, the AC/DC strategy, and so effectively it's the energy transition, the decarbonisation. It's all connected through the critical minerals push, and I guess our angle is the monazite, the mineral that contains the rare earths. And so we're executing our strategy via the mineral sands, which is our access point into the rare earths, and we see that as a safer entry point rather than, say, your hard rocks and your clays. And then we bring along our technology, which is then taking that monazite and doing a caustic crack for that downstream processing in Australia, and that's the opportunity for Australia for that downstream processing. So it's a bit of an overview. We went through an IPO end of 22, listed in January of 23, and we raised 8 million. We've still got 4.15, we reported our last quarter, and we've had a busy 15 months. So we completed over 20,000 metres worth of air core drilling across our projects in Western Victoria, delivered a maiden JORC resource of over 600 million tonnes at our Goshen project, so that's our focus project currently. Scoping studies have been underway. We're at the final point of delivering them. And that's for both the mineral sands operation and vertically integrated with our rare earth technology piece. And also we've been busy with our piloting work with mineral technologies to gear us up ready for that next stage of development, and also enable us to understand our full product suite and to start having more detailed discussions with off-takers as we move forward. And so that's where really, I guess, our key differentiator is taking this downstream processing onshore. Oops. Board management team. So we've assembled a strong team of rare earth expertise, and it's not always easy to find these guys. I guess we've got Mark as the guru in rare earths over the last 10, 15 years. And so we're all, I think we have 3 or 4 of us here at the conference this week. We're just at booth 85. Capital structure, so as I mentioned, we've still got 4.15 in the bank. Share price might be a touch higher than that at the moment after today's results, but we're near cash backing, so there's a massive opportunity for investors and shareholders currently. So mineral sands, so what are we really looking at? What are the things that are getting us excited? So for the heavy mineral concentrate side of things, it's the zircon and the titanium. And then for the rare earth pieces, the monazite and the xenotime. So the monazite, the mineral, contains about 60% rare earth elements. And so a decade ago, monazite was seen as a waste product, $400 or $500 a tonne. You couldn't give it away. Up to about 12 months ago, it was up to about 10,000 US a tonne. And that's why a lot of these projects are now all getting a fair bit of airtime. So the AC/DC metal strategy is essentially to have the heavy mineral sand asset and to then provide that feedstock through to the rare earth processing plant. And so phase 1 is a traditional standard heavy mineral sand operation, doing the physical separation to produce the heavy mineral concentrates, that's your zircon, titania, and then also then your rare earth mineral concentrate. And so there's readily mature markets, well understood, and those projects could execute. And so if you look in Western Victoria where we are right now, there's peers that are FID right now for that exact same execution. And I guess we feel as though our differentiator is the phase 2 part. So we take that rare earth concentrate and then we do a caustic crack. And that's really the first step in towards going towards magnet manufacturing. And so we do the caustic crack, we produce then a mixed rare earth oxide, and then that goes on then to separation. So where are our projects? So we're currently located in Western Victoria. We have probably about 8 or 9 tenements. 4 key project areas. As I mentioned previously, Goshen Central is the focus. And so that's where we've been developing our mineral resource estimate that came out last year, and our scoping study has been based on that project. But we are also actively drilling out the other projects right now. So you can see last year we did over 12,500 metres. We've just completed 9,000 metres, and we're getting ready to go back out in a couple of weeks. The drilling that we did at Goshen was really building to try and find some more grade in our main Goshen project, but the other 2, Douglas and Watcham, was more of the discovery level drilling. We knew there was some stuff there previously from CRA, but to really go and chase some of that down and apply some newer, smarter technology to those projects. And yeah, we're really excited about what we saw, and that was the announcement that we released this morning at Douglas. Some really strong results, and so the exploration team is jumping at the bit to get back out there. So the Goshen Central project, so as I mentioned, over 600 million tonnes, really strong assemblage, so really good zircon and monazite grades. And also key to note, it's the 38 micron to 1 mil fraction that it's been based on. There's been technology advancements with Mineral Technologies. Mineral Technologies is a engineering consultancy and also a developer and a constructor of the spirals that you use for the separation. And they can go down to 20 micron now. So once we include that in there, we think there's a really big upside to increase the grade. And also with the drilling that we've done, if you look on the map there, even if you can't read it, just the more pink dots, the better. And so that's where we've found some more higher grade. And so we're going through doing the mineralogy work right now, and we'll be going back to our resource geos for looking for a Q3 release on our JORC resource update. So when we look at our at the project at Goshen, when we compare it to the likes of Astron and VHM that are right around near us, and their FID market caps far greater than where we are right now, and that's the opportunity. So our project, we think, is going to peg very well against theirs, and so that's where we see the opportunity for investors right now. So the Goshen Central Scoping Study, so as I mentioned, it's very final points of before we can release, but it's going to be a multi-decade project, low impact drilling, no drill and blast. These are strip mining, quick rehab. There's been lots of work done by our peers. I think WIM did their test pit near Avonbank, and the farmers are growing crops there 4 or 5 years later. So it's really low impact mining. And then we have that two-phased approach, as I mentioned, from our strategy above. And so the next steps for the scoping study is really to finalise that scoping study, get that out, and we can really then start talking numbers about the project. That piloting program will be complete, and then we can then further on our conversations with off-takers about our product suite, and then get geared up, ready to go to that next stage, which is then going into a pre-feasibility. On the rare earth processing plant side, so this is probably the area that we'll look to focus on in the near term. And so we're getting lots of discussion and really good engagement from the South Australian government on this project. So we'll be looking to put the plant in Victoria and then take the rare earth concentrate over to South Australia to the Iron Triangle, most likely. And we're getting some really strong engagement. And so with going down the caustic crack process, we really minimise that waste generation. So our ESG credentials are really strong for the project, and that's what's enabling us to have these really strong conversations with departments. And so the localisation study's been complete for the project as well. So we understand the pathway to permitting, we understand our touch points and where we really need to focus on moving forward. And so at the moment we're gathering all our monazite together, ready to go and start a program with ANSTO to go along and do the next 6 months worth of test work. So the Douglas project, this is sort of going back onto the exploration side of things now. This is what we released this morning, and this is what we've been really, we're really excited when the exploration team were out there at the time and they were calling up, sending through, photos through to us to have a look at it all. Everyone was very excited. And yeah, you can see there's really strong mineralisation, 20, 30 metres at really strong grades. And so we're trying to get some mineralogy together as fast as we can. But we know from the Bondi strandline system that's just next door, we do have a reasonably good idea or confidence level of what we think will be in that assemblage. And we know there was an active mine there only about 10 years ago with the Luca just around the corner. So we're really excited about the prospect of the Douglas project, and we'll be back out there in the next few weeks. So the work plan or the news flow for everyone looking forward. So we'll be back out drilling in a couple of weeks' time. We've still got some final assay results to come through from our Watcham stuff. I didn't really talk about Watcham today, but there's lots of good results coming through there now, and the guys are going through, tuning through that at the moment. Obviously the resource update in Q3 for Goshen, that'll feed in from our scoping study release, and you'll be able to see when we release the scoping study, the sensitivity to grade. And so obviously grade is king, stronger grade, stronger economics, and so we think we're really going to be able to bolster that up. And then we'll also start along with our test work. So in summary, we've got a strong team. We've been very efficient over the last 15 months, really good, strong spend of what we've been delivered to date. Lots of good drilling, lots of metres done, scoping studies are working well, and we provide that good exposure to that critical minerals. I've lost my point now. But yeah, we provide that exposure to the critical minerals sector, and if you want to get on board, then I think ACDC is a strong look. Thanks.